Yo, what's up guys, Bonfire here, back with another video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys my favorite defense in Madden 23. Now what we're going to be doing today is going over the nickel 335. First of all, I want to say sorry for the bad lighting. The original lights in this room went out, and I don't have time to fix them or bulbs to fix them right now. So what we're going to do is this 2-lamp setup, and obviously I'm not that clear, and you see kind of a big lamp blaring in your face, so I do apologize for that first of all. Now, we're going to be in the Kansas City Chiefs defensive playbook for today's video, which is my personal playbook. And I think this is a really good playbook. You have a lot of variety, mainly in your nickel formations. You have a nickel normal, and then you have 3-5 normal, which you love to see, as well as the dollar, which is going to be your very good blitzing formations. Now, again, we're going to be in the nickel 3-3. It's not called 3-5 anymore. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you. Especially when nothing changes with the formation, EA just likes to get extra. Now, we're going to be going over a couple of different plays. My personal favorite play is going to be Tampa 2, which you can actually not see as of right now. So, Tampa 2 is going to be right there. I think it is the best play on defense for a couple of reasons. The first one being the fact that you can create really good coverage out of it. The second one being it's a pretty good formation to blitz out of. So, you have a couple of things that you can do right there. And yeah, that's the play that we like to run out of it. For now, that's the play we're going to show. If you want a full ebook on this formation, we can definitely do that. So that's what we're going to do. Now, coach adjustments. It's going to be important that we have auto flip on. We have our auto alignment to base, and that we are playing the ball. Everything else you can kind of leave the same. Now, as far as these zone drops, we're going to leave these as default for now. We might cycle back to this depending on the coverages that I show, but for now we'll leave it on default and we will get straight to it. Alright, so here we are out on the field with our nickel 3-3 defense. Now we're already base aligned with our coach adjustments, so we don't have to do that. The first thing I like to do is press. Now we're going to go over our coverage adjustments first, and then we'll show the blitz later. Now with these coverage adjustments, what you're going to go ahead and do for our first adjustment, we're going to go ahead and talk about who we want to inside third, because if you run cover 2 just normal, you're going to get beat in a couple of different ways. The big one being deep posts down the middle of the field. Those will just get wide open. It's a no-no. You do not want to do that. On every single time you run cover 2, unless you're sending like a 6-person, 5-6-person blitz, and even when I send my blitz in this video, you will notice that we're going to have a middle third. So, yeah, we want a middle third. Now, who's going to be our middle third every single time that you're running our coverage style of the defense? It's going to be the linebacker on the side of the cornerback. So our slot corner is on the right, so we're going to throw Vander Esch here in the middle third. Simple enough to remember. If it's flipped, you would just put Anthony Barr over there on the left side in it. Now over here with our slot corner, we can do a couple of different things, and we will show a couple of different things. The first thing that you can do is put him in a vertical hook. You can also leave him in a blitz, which he will be in a blitz for actual blitz of the defense. And you can also man him up. You can man him up on RB. You can man him up on the tight end, Evan Ingram. You can man him up on the running back. You can man him up on Laviska Shenault there. So you have a couple of different options there. The one that I'm going to choose is actually going to be the Bluff blitz adjustment. That's going to put him in a 3-receiver hook, which is one of the best zones in the game at baiting things, and that's what we like to have. Now, we have a couple of different zones here. Generally, we have our mid read with our user. We're going to generally user this middle guy. And I didn't talk personnel, but you can put safeties at these linebacker positions. I didn't want to keep rambling on. And then you'll leave Anthony Barr here. Now, I'll show some things that you can do differently every single time with Anthony Barr and your corner. But for now, we'll leave it the same. Now, what I like to do with my guys, just kind of stand here. You can stand around here, but we'll just show it kind of like this. And you notice that it is going to be decent coverage. Now, you do have a gap there in RB, and you are only sending 3 people, so it's not going to be necessarily the best coverage, or the best pass rush, rather. But the coverage is going to be pretty good behind it for this first one. Now, certain plays are going to beat it. Really deep crossing routes is one of those things. Everything else, besides like a really deep corner out, is going to defend it, and it's a basic coverage. It's not going to be too complicated. The idea is to start out basic. If you need to over adjust, you can go ahead and do that. So let's just hop into a couple of different other plays besides verticals. And the pass rush this year is good, so most of the time if you have 3 really good pass rushers, you are able to get pressure at some point. But let's just show it again. So once again, just to review, we're going to put Van Der Esch here in the inside third. We're going to go ahead, Bluff, Blitz, 8, and then we're going to just use this guy, Donovan Wilson here. We'll leave our cloud flats the same. And again, we'll talk about zone drops a little bit later. But for now, you see, again, coverage pretty good. Of course, there are certain weaknesses, and we're not really getting any pressure now. I know that that was a running back block, so of course that's 6 against 3. You don't have the odds in your favor. Online, people get worried. They step up in the pocket. They step into pressure. They start running out. But you can see, just as a base rush, it's not being as good as it usually is online, and that could be because we're in practice mode. But usually we get pressure a little bit faster than that. If you feel the need to out of this formation, you can just go ahead and send out the slot corner if you need, and that's just going to create a little bit more of one-on-ones. You notice how Micah Parsons gets around there, and it makes all the difference in the world. Your coverage would be perfect. So that's going to be setup number 1. Another setup that I like to do, and this would be a man coverage setup. We're going to man up a couple of guys, and we're going to leave our inside third every single play, but we're going to man up a slot receiver and the running back. You can also do this with the tight end. So 2 of the, especially bots, who do they throw to the most? It's going to be your tight end. It's going to be your running back. And you take those 2 guys out of the equation. If they're running something like a flood concept, something like this, I'm not sure. A play like this, kind of a flood play, will actually just turn into flood completely. There you see it. This would be pretty dang good defense, and it would leave you to really just user X here. Now Micah Parsons is starting to scream off the edge, and that's what one-on-ones do in this game. It doesn't matter if you have 1 one-on-one or 2 one-on-ones. Generally, you see people getting that really good pressure. And so that's what it's going to do for you. That's another variety to do it. Now I'm going to show a double Mabel setup next, and that's where we're going to go into our zone drops. So with your zone drops, what you're going to go ahead and do is set our curl flats to something. Now with our curl flats, we're going to move them. I like to have the curl flats lower. You can run this vice versa as well, but we're going to go curl flats 5. We're going to go flats 25. And again, we're going to run this Tampa 2 play. You could run cover 2 drop. I like Tampa 2 better just because it's what I'm used to. Cover 2 drop is a new play if I'm not mistaken, so there's that. So with this play, what you're going to do is press. You're going to put A here in a curl flat. You're going to put X in a curl flat. And you notice even when you're running this out, the same guy's going to be in the middle third. It's going to be Van Der Esch, the side of the slot corner, which is why we always put him there, so that you're not changing an adjustment, just randomly springing that upon you guys. So it's going to be like this. It's going to be, again, 3-man rush, but you're going to have the sidelines on lock, and it's going to really stress the middle of the field. So you want to kind of run something like this, where if they throw that there, you have a curl flat, you have some guys to make a play. You really force them to throw it inside the numbers, which is what some people are uncomfortable with doing. If you get some fast, some rangy guys, you should be able to make plays. And again, a lot of guys won't have super fast releases this early in the year if you're playing MUT, or even regs for that matter, depending on who they're using. So you can take advantage a lot of the times. Now, if they're only going deep on one side, let's say they're only trying to throw deep on the crossing route side, maybe that's the left side, you can still leave A in a bluff blitz and run your coverage like this. That will give you some help on that side. And now I don't have to necessarily defend as much. Now the bluff blitzes can be bad. You notice how there he didn't really do much. So if you find him doing nothing, you can just leave him in a vert hook. But again, with the double Mabel, I like this a lot. And it's good to just keep mixing between these defenses. You never want to stay in the same defense for multiple plays at a time. I like to say there, maybe 2. If you're playing a bot, you of course can. But if you're playing a good player, you know he's good. You want to be smart about it, and this is a good way to do so. So now you see, everything's unlocked. Outside third, Jaron Curse making a beautiful play on the ball. You have the flats taken away. You have the intermediate kind of inside seam throws on the corner out taken away. And then, of course, our deep halves are able to make the deep, rangy plays if they throw it late, which you love to see. So, overall, pretty good coverage across the board. Again, if you need to, you can man up players, and you just have a lot of diversity. Overall, you're playing it safe. You're not giving up any deep passes, really. And you're just really, if he's going to move the ball on this defense, what is he going to have to do? He's going to have to dink and dunk. He's going to have to take what the defense gives him, and he's going to have to put together a 10-plus play drive, which in this game you want to happen because the more dropbacks happen, the more crazy block sheds you probably get, and the more likely he is to make a mistake. It's difficult to pass perfect in this game. I find myself making a bad read usually once a drive in this game just because of how difficult it is to pass the ball. You have to be really sharp on your reads, and even then you can still make mistakes, as we all know. Now let's show the blitz. I've rambled on enough. Now with this blitz, what you're going to do is the same thing we press, but we're actually going to do it with a new adjustment. Now this is going to kind of be a tell. It's unfortunate that we have to do it, but you can also run your coverage out of this, which is nice, which is something that I'll show after the blitz. What we did, we shifted our linebackers to the left. Reason being, we want an edge rusher. We're going to go ahead and blitz Anthony Barr. Now, we still want an inside third on this, so usually I'll still put Van Der Esch in the inside third. If you notice him in a formation that has no chance of any kind of a deep post, you can leave him in a vertical hook or something like that. But what we're going to do with Donovan Wilson is just going to kind of stand here and occupy someone, and you're going to see pressure off the right edge fairly easily. Now, you noticed I showed a scenario where we only blitzed the slot corner and those 3 down linemen. It did not result in pressure from the slot corner. The offensive lineman slid relatively routinely, but now you notice we get a nice instant shed with our boy DeMarcus Lawrence, or not, instant engage rather, not shed. And you notice how we actually get 2 people free. So we rush 5, he's blocking 5, and what happens? We get 2 free rushers. I'll take that any day, twice on Saturdays. So again, it depends on the kind of rush you get. We get a kind of one arm stiff rush with Micah Parsons where he's really taking him upfield. Pretty realistic because that's what he does in real life. So that kind of stunts Anthony Barr. And again, you can put a safety in Barr's spot if you want more versatility. But you notice we get a clean rush from the slot corner because he is so far out. Anthony Barr, you can't move him any further out than that. But they both end up getting pressure. Hypothetically, if you blocked 6, of course, the offensive lineman would do things differently, but I'll show it eventually. But I mean, overall, you rush 5. It's a really good blitz. It's not a lot of work. It's not a complicated, oh, you have to contain, you have to be hovering in this spot. You just kind of stand here in the gap, occupy for a little bit, and you notice the slot. This time, we don't get Anthony Barr free. We still get our slot corner free, which is why I wasn't just going crazy on that last blitz, because I know it doesn't happen consistently. But, I mean, you're getting the slot corner free every time. Get a fast guy at the slot corner. He doesn't have to be a good overall, but as long as he has speed, you're doing the job. And you're also still creating one-on-ones. Here you notice, again, Anthony Barr takes the inside route, which is a little bit unfortunate. Maybe it's because I changed Etienne's route from the first time. Who knows the reason? It could be a lot of things. But we get a one-on-one, so if you have a good edge rusher, Micah Parsons, he's bowling Cam Robinson on that side. You expect to see a lot of that in Madden 22. You have to send 5 out, get the ball out quickly. I'll urge you to do that. But slot corner, sandwiches Trevor Lawrence, and again, none of these routes are even developed down the field. I mean, there's really not a lot to throw here. Now again, certain routes they're going to be open. He's not going to run verticals every play. Verticals is one of the best plays, and this is a very hypothetical situation because not even everybody's running bunch right now. So bunch is going to be a little bit more difficult. You're probably facing a more advanced guy, but a lot of these bums are in like single back and gun. No worries at all. So I'll show the blitz one more time, and then I'll show it with different protection schemes and things like that. So here you see again, simple stuff. I tried to throw that wheel route. I couldn't do it. And you see with my user, I'm actually able to take away the wheel route with the tight end and the running back route. So he's forced to throw the running back super early if he wants any kind of a completion. And again, who's our slot corner? Jordan Lewis in this scenario is getting free every single time. Now, let's say they block the running back. I believe it's just not going to straight up work. Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of works. Anthony Barr ended up getting free. And you notice how the slot corner could get free. But Etienne did a nice job in pass protection. This blitz probably works if it's Madden 22, I'm being honest. But we still end up getting pressure. Anthony Barr, he was able to get around the edge. If you have time in a setup, which you can go ahead and do as well. I didn't mention this. If you have time, potentially what you're able to do is maybe move Anthony Barr just a couple steps off. That's optional. That could be a tell in your defense, but if you would like, you can do that. And here you see quick pressure. I forgot to block ETN there, but you guys kind of get the gist. Now let's show some regular coverages out of this, because again, what I said, you're not going to be running a blitz. You don't want to run a blitz only when you shift your linebackers, or you don't want to run coverage. I don't know. You don't only want to be blitzing every time you shift your linebackers, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you'll understand. You want to be able to run coverage out of this also so that he doesn't know, okay, he shifted that way, he's blitzing Anthony Barr, I'm blocking ETN. It's going to be a simple block protection, and we'll be able to find someone open. we don't want it to be that easy for him. So we're going to run a coverage adjustment out of this. Maybe we'll man up this guy, but we'll just be rushing 3. We'll set up everything the same way, and he'd be like, oh, shoot, well, now I only sent out 4 routes or something, whatever the case is. But again, the 3-man rush, it's a lot better than this usually in person. Trust me, if you've watched any Madden 22 gameplay, you know that nobody ever has this much time to throw the rock. I'll tell you that firsthand. 3-man rushes, 4-man rushes, it doesn't matter. If you have to send 4 in this scenario, what you can do is just send Anthony Barr, and you should still be fine. You still have pretty good coverage even if you're sending Barr. And again, they block 6 against 3. They're going to have a lot of stuff. But here you rush 4, you get more one-on-ones, you're going to win more pass rushes, and it's going to work a little bit better. So overall, it's going to be the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.